many of you guys are familiar with salsa dancing? Okay, so for those of us who aren't, salsa dancing is a partner dance, improvised social dance that's done to Latin music with a lead and a follow, where the leader basically dictates what's going to happen in the dance and the follower has a couple of opportunities to embellish with whatever styling that she has. Salsa dancing is also the industry where I built my career, which is why it's relevant today. However, I have not built my career in this industry by following the traditions. I have actually gone against everything that is traditional in the culture for, you take my chair?
No.
All right. I've gone against everything that's traditional in this dance, but still managed to build a career in it. And the reason I've done that is what I like to say is cushioning. I've cushioned myself for creativity. So what is a cushion? By definition, a cushion is a case that's filled with some soft material that is used for comfortable support for sitting or resting or leaning or anything like that. So it's something that's supportive. And if you think about it, it helps us endure a lot too. Imagine if you had a 9-to-5 job, but instead of having these nice cushioned chairs, you were sitting on a block of concrete. Probably not as comfortable. You would be miserable at the end of the day. Now, we have always looked for ways to find some way to take the hard and make it soft. Those are the literal cushions in our life. We've done that since the beginning of time. But we also have figurative cushions, which provide the same purpose. They support us in our endeavors so that we can attain the things that we want to attain. And and they also provide support against impact, any type of negative impact that we might encounter. So a possible figurative cushion would be financial cushions, savings and assets. They allow us to feel comfortable. Should we lose our job? Should we get injured? We still have that as a backup. And they also give us freedom to go out into the world and try something new. We want to visit a country, we have those savings that we can go and do that, take that trip. We want to try a new restaurant, we can do that. We want to buy new clothing, we can do that too. So it not only provides us support against impact, some negative impact, but it gives us freedom. We also have conversational cushions that help us navigate through difficult conversations. Let's say if we have to deliver some type of critical feedback to somebody. Sure, we could be really direct. Like our last meeting, I was evaluating Bruce's speech, and the only criticism I really had for him was more facial expressions. And I could have been like, Bruce, you just need to do more facial expressions. Sure, he could receive it constructively, but that would be a lot of work on him. So what did I do? I cushioned my critical feedback with a lot of positive messaging. I talked about all the good things that I liked about his speech, said that if you use more facial expressions, I think you'd have a greater impact, can't wait to see it in the next time. So that positive cushioning around that message, what it does is it doesn't allow the critical, that negative feedback to monopolize the message that you're giving. Now, we know that cushions help in our life. We can see how it benefits us. But I'm always surprised why we don't use cushioning for creativity. And what do I mean by creativity? About the idea of taking our thoughts and the things that we want to suggest. Let's say at a job, you have a different way of doing things. You have an idea for change. Or in a relationship, you want to invite someone to try something new with your friends. And we don't do this, not just for the fear of rejecting, or fear of getting rejected, but we also fear resistance, which we were talking about, okay? And the resistance, how it manifests itself in a reaction. Because when we present an idea that is suggesting change, we are asking someone to stop the way they've been doing things and then do them a different way, which means learning, which means changing so many other things in your life to adapt. And a lot of people are generally averse to change. And so the way people could possibly react could be ridicule. Are you crazy? Who's going to do that? Could be dismissive. That's cute, but that's not how I'm going to look at it. It could be resentment. I really don't like your idea. It could be anger. How dare you challenge the way I've done this? This was my idea. How dare you come against it? So what do these reactions have in common? It's the way they manifest themselves in our body language and our facial expressions can sometimes be scary. And I know, as a child, I remember with my dad, if I did anything wrong, I did not need to be told what I did wrong, but his facial expression told me exactly how much trouble I was in. Right? So we know those reactions. We're used to them. We've experienced them in life all throughout our lives. So we don't want to do something that would encourage that. But what we have to remember is that there are also counter reactions. Our ideas, our suggestions, and our messages could also be received with encouragement, support, enthusiasm, and joy. And the way these reactions manifest themselves in our body language is in a positive demeanor. And how they manifest themselves in our face is often with a smile. So what does this have to do with cushioning? I'm going to take you guys back to salsa dancing. So in salsa dancing, as I said, I tend to go against the grain. I've gone against the traditions, which I've sometimes been received with a pleasant smile, and sometimes with some shocking resentment. I can't believe she's doing that. Does she not know how many years we put into setting this up? And I don't want to deal with the resistance, per se. I don't have an intention of fighting people. I don't want to disrespect anybody or offend the traditions that are there. I just want to exercise my creativity. I want to explore my potential, and I want to invite my partner to explore their potential. And I want to see what we could create together. But I needed a safe place from where I could operate. Because the amount of resistance I was and I continue to receive, there's no way I'm going to make it through that. It's hard to bear. So what did I do? I took the knowledge that I have about reactions and how they manifest themselves in our face and in our body, and I worked backwards. I started with a smile. Every dance, every interaction, I didn't start with this face, I started with this face. And I smiled throughout my dance. And with this smile, what I was able to accomplish is rapport. I built rapport with my partner. And I set a foundation that encouraged acceptance and playfulness and support for whatever we did. And from there, once that foundation was set, I was able to insert my creativity. I could do all my crazy moves. And I am almost always received with a smile in return. Sometimes it's genuine, that's really how they want to react. And sometimes it's just a reciprocation of mine. Because it's hard to switch like this from being happy and excited about something, being like, I really don't like that, and then coming back to being happy. It's really weird. So worst case, I get the shocked smile, like, I don't like it, but I can't help my face, which works for me. And so with this safe space, I've been able to create. I've been able to do a lot more with my dance, and I have been able to build my career based on this new way of doing things. And I think all of us have this desire to do something different. I think we don't go through life saying, you know what, I want to be another cog in the wheel. Most of us, I hope. When we get into a workplace, we can see the process and say, hey, you know what? I think we could do this better if we just tried this. In relationships, I would love to try this with you, but it's a crazy idea. With friendships, I know we go to that place all the time, but why don't we try this thing? I know we want to offer these suggestions. We have creative input. We want to be creative. We want to do more, be more, and live a life that is authentic to what we feel. But we don't do it because we're scared of that. Not only the rejection, but the resistance and the reactions that we might receive. And what I'm telling you guys today is that if you cushion your message with a smile, if you work backwards and start with the external manifestation, that smile, of the reactions you want to encourage, you will be surprised at what you can attain. I'm not done yet. My last point is that when it comes to cushioning your message for creativity, it's not just about hoping for a smile, it's about leading with it and leaving with it, no matter what happens in between. In this way, you set the foundation, you set the stage with a positive energy that conveys confidence, respect, support, and acceptance. And I promise you guys, if you try this with any idea you have, you will pretty much get them accepted almost all the time. And thank you.